More problems coming up. We did kind of 1 through 4, more than kind of. We have 2 chunks. It's not bad at all. Let's read it. Let's take the whole thing. Find the coordinates of the vertex of the given quadratic function. We're going to find, they just want you to find the coordinates of the vertex. Okay. I'm going to take the whole thing and I'm going to do it. There are really 2 types of problems here, and you should be familiar with both. 9 through 12 are easy because they're in the standard form, and 13 through 16 are hard because they're in the general form. We're going to do one of each, okay? And we're going to test our work on Desmos. We're going to graph it and check it that way. So let me take this guy and bring this guy here. Okay, and we're going to do 9 through, I'm going to do number 10 first. And let me bring this guy here too. Let me bring this guy here as well. That's called the standard form. I'll put it somewhere here. I know I can make it a little smaller, but then if I make it too small, nobody can see. All right, so very carefully. Again, guys, you want to know if it's in the standard form, it's in the general form. They don't use the word general in your book. I don't know why, but standard form is always easier. So I'm going to start with this. Okay. I want to write it like this. Oh, this is too easy. It's already written like this. So let's skip it. Well, let's do it. It's almost too easy. So I'm going to say 10. It's exactly in this format. A is, you can write down, you can say A is -3. H is 2. Don't write -2. And K is 12. And it's nice to write down A. I'll tell you why, because when you graph, you would know if it does it open upward or downward. So that's not bad, but they want you to find the coordinates of the vertex. That's all they want. And this is answering Jack's question. What kind of question I'll give you? This will be a typical exam question. And you would enter 2, 12, and you'll be done. Do you have to enter this? Not really. Just give me this and they have to be correct. So that's our number 10. Let's try number 12. So how do we do number 12? It is negative, and I'm going to check my answer to both. Give me 1 second, okay? It is -2, but I want -h, so I can write, well, let me write number 12 properly. So I'm going to rewrite number 12 as follows. -2, I want to make it look like this. -2x -4. And this is plus, so I don't like this -8. Okay, I don't care much about this -2. I don't need it. So the vertex is going to be this. Now, this one I would like to test. I would like to check. I would like to do it on Desmos. So this slide is not going anywhere. So this one was too easy. I'm going to erase it. I don't have to check. It's so straightforward. I don't think I messed up, and you would have told me. So I'm going to erase it. Just a distraction at this point. Okay, let's go back and check. I'm going to graph this. Okay. So if I made a mistake, my coordinate of the vertex should not be -4, -8. I'm double checking in my head to see I didn't make a mistake, but okay, let's try it. X plus 4 square minus 8. Oops, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Why wouldn't it do it? That's a little strange. It's not, oh, I see. Okay, right here. So sometime it'll be a little funky. Okay. Now, You can do this on Desmos, -4 minus A, okay? And that's what I think I got. So I know I'm right. And one more thing to check, guys, look at this A value, it's -4. So we know it will open downward. If you replace, the vertex won't change, just take a look. Vertex didn't change, it was flipped. And that makes perfect sense, guys, because remember we talked about negative ones are reflection with regard to the x-axis and y-axis. It's kind of connected to that. Okay, let's come back here and see if we have any questions on number 12. Okay, it's always a good idea to do it two ways and double check your answer before you enter it on your exam. You can just do it graphically. I don't have a problem, but what if you enter the graph wrong? So up to you. So it takes, I think it takes care of 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we have done one like 13, 14, 15, 16, but I would like to do one again. And I don't need this guy here, just to let you know, because this is a different problem. Let me erase this. Okay, this is the general form. Remember, guys, the general form is here. This is the theory about the general form. Let me put it on top of this guy. I don't need the old formula. I know you can see both, but I apologize. But I care about this one right now. So let's try 16 very carefully. Okay, I am writing the values of ABC first. A is -2, signs do matter. B is 8, and C is not 1, but -1. I'm just going to write vertex x coordinate. Okay, and that has to be minus B over 2A, minus B over 2A. And that turns out to be -8 over -4. And that's just a +2, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to graph it, and of course, I'll check. So you would know if I'm wrong or right. If I'm wrong, of course, you guys will tell me. I know that, which is a good thing. That's easy. Now, what does this mean? Well, this simply means you take the value of your x coordinate, put it back in the same old function. And let's do it now using a different color. I'm going to put this guy in my number 16 function, replace it with 2. I have to replace everything with 2 squared plus 8 times 2 minus 1. Okay, 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8, but don't forget the minus 8. 8 times 2 is 16 minus 1. And I am getting 16 minus 8 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. I'm getting +7. So my final answer, I'm going to do it in orange. My final answer that I would like you to enter is going to be just this. You don't have to write V, but I'm just telling you that that's what I am writing. You just have to enter this 2,7. That's what I want to see on the exam. Very simple. You don't need any fancy little window to enter it. Just 2,7, and you have to put these parentheses. Okay, just don't write 2,7 parentheses 2,7, because this is a point and you're entering the coordinates. Now, before I keep on going, let me graph this on Desmos. -2 plus 8 minus 1. -2 plus 8 minus 1. Okay. Oh boy, did I make a mistake? Let me double check. I'm getting this. Okay, guys, I did make a mistake. I think, let me, 16 minus 8 is, well, let me think a little bit. Okay, -2 plus 8 minus 1. Let me first check the question. -2 plus 8 minus 1. Okay, my bad. This is my mistake. All right, now let's look. So I didn't make a mistake. My graph was entered incorrectly. Once you enter it correctly, as you can tell, the vertex is 2, 7. Another thing you want to observe, that the A value, a value is negative, it makes sense. Your graph is turned upside down. It's something you want to observe. So my answer is right. I didn't enter it, and that's why it gave me a funny incorrect answer. But I think we're good there, right here. Let's pause here a little bit. That takes care of problems 9 through 16, really. Okay, moving on, just a few more. Okay, I think the next set, this is the last one. Let's see what they say. Okay, use the vertex and the intercept to sketch the graph of each quadratic function. Give the equation of the parabola, axis of symmetry. I'm going to talk about it, nothing going on. Use the graph to determine the function of the domain. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to graph it. Okay, I don't know how you will turn it in. Actually, there's a way you can turn it in, but I'm not going to go over that. You have to graph it and you have to tell me the answers. I'm going to graph it for you on Desmos, and I'm going to show you what the answer is. There are lots of fancy words here, right? I'm going to do one from the top, one from the bottom. Let's take well, let me do this if you don't mind. I'll do 20, and I'm grabbing the text as well. Okay. Excuse me. I always think when the function is like this, it's easy. What do they mean? Let's do 20. Okay, I can ask you what's the equation, blah, blah, blah. I can give you all those. Give the equation of the parabola's axis. I'm going to talk about it. There's nothing to it. Okay, so guys, I'm doing 20. All right. Now, I'm going to graph it on Desmos. Okay, I'm going to graph this. We can almost see the vertex will be 3, comma, this is minus, this is plus, good sign, that's easy, 3, 2, and there is a 1 here, and it will open like this. Those are things you want to observe so that if you make a mistake, you will catch yourself. All right, x minus 3 squared plus 2, go to Desmos. X minus 3 square plus 2. Now everything looks fine. 3, 2, that's what we predicted. 3, 2, everything looks fine. What do they mean by this? So let's take this curve and let's answer some of the questions. Okay, we're doing 20, so you have to understand that. I know there are tons of things floating around. That's okay. Okay, so guys, what do they mean by equation of the parabola's axis of symmetry? Nothing. Find the vertex. Find the vertex, and it is 3, 2. Okay, axis of symmetry simply means this line. The line that cuts the parabola into 2 equal halves. It's always a vertical line. It'll always be vertical. So what's the equation of this line? It's basically all you have to do is y. It's a vertical line. It's going to be y equal to 3. Where's 3 coming from? The x coordinate of the vertex. So the line passes through the x coordinate of the vertex. So if you know the x coordinate of the vertex, to answer, give the equation of parabola, give the equation of the parabola's axis of symmetry. Don't write x is equal to 3, guys. Okay, that's a horizontal line. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, let me paraphrase it. So it's a vertical line. All you don't write y. Actually, I was wrong there. It's going to be x equal to 3. That's all they want. Okay. That's all they want for this, not y, but x. Easy to make a mistake. I just made it. So it's a vertical line. Equation of a vertical line is simply x is equal to something. What's that something? Whichever point it goes through. And we know it's 3, 2, and we can prove it to you like this, 3, 2. Okay, x is equal to 3, not y equal to 3. Okay, we did that. Use the graph to determine the function's domain. This is a little tricky, okay? functions, domain, and range. Okay, going back to what we have been talking about, guys. The functions domain is going to be for parabolas. The domain will always be negative infinity to positive infinity, because this curve will go up and this curve will go up like this. It'll always be that. That's easy. Range is a little tough. Remember, guys, range is you're an ant, you're walking on the curve, and you're being asked what is the set of all possible y coordinates that you could possibly hold. The answer is everything above the y coordinate of this point. So we're going to write it nicely, guys. We're going to write it nicely. So if it's a parabola, the domain is always negative infinity to positive infinity. Let's erase this. You're going to say negative infinity to positive infinity. And yes, you have to write it properly. You're going to write D. Okay, they want you to find the range. Range is all of this, but you're thinking about the y coordinate. It will be 2 or above. Include 2, everything above 2. And this is called the range. We'll do one more like this, okay, for you guys. One more problem like this. Let's pause there a little bit. Excuse me. So if you know the vertex, everything flows from the vertex, okay? The vertical line that divides the parabola into 2 equal halves is going to be x equal to, the equation of the vertical line will be x equal to 3. And the domain will always be negative infinity to positive infinity, because your parabola will go on and on in both directions. That's easy. You don't have to worry about it too much. The range will always change. The range will start with the y coordinate, and if it opens upward, it's going to go to negative infinity. We're going to do one, hopefully, where it's negative, and it's going to go from the y coordinate to negative infinity. We're going to hopefully get a chance to do one, but let's do a couple more. But I'm going to pause it just a little bit. Just a little bit. So once again, the main concern is to calculate your vertex properly. Do it in 2 ways. Graph it, double check. Once you have it, you can answer all those questions. Okay, let's do one like this. Let's do 38. All right, guys. I'm not going to copy the text because we kind of know what the text is about. I'm going to, of course, I can always come back and ask or look at this page. I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to, so basically we are finding domain, range, graphing, and writing the equation of the vertical line. Okay, this is in the general form. What's the general form? Remember, A is the coefficient of x squared, which is +1. B is the coefficient of x, the number that sits right next to x on the left-hand side is the coefficient of x, including the sign. C is 6. Now, first I have to find the vertex. I can go back and graph it, but I'll do it manually. Okay, vertex, x coordinate of the vertex is minus b over twice a. It should be in your notes, right? And minus b is -4 twice a. -4 is 4 over 2 is 2. Okay, your vertex's x coordinate is 2. How do we find the y coordinate? Not too difficult. You're going to replace x with 2. 6 minus 4 times 2. Sorry, 2 squared. And yes, don't mess it up. 6 minus 8 plus 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. And this is 2. So my vertex, and let's write it down nicely. I'm going to soon tell you why. Vertex is 2 and 2. I'm going to check if I made a mistake, and this will come out really quickly, and we'll have to come back and fix it if I made a mistake. And how do we know? I'm going to try to graph this function. Okay, A is 1. My function should open upward. Okay, and hopefully my vertex will turn out to be 2, 2. 6 minus 4x plus x squared. We go to Desmos. 6 minus 4x plus x squared. Before I want to double check 6 minus 4x plus x squared. 6 minus 4, that sounds about right. Vertex is 2, 2. I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy. So come here. And now you said they want, let's go back and read the language. What do they want you to do? Find the parabola's axis of symmetry. All they're saying is find the equation of the vertical line that goes through the vertex. And that's simply x, not y, equal to 2. All right. Then what else do they want us to find? They are interested in, we graphed it, domain and range. Well, let's look at this. The domain will always be negative infinity to positive infinity because this curve goes all the way to the right as it moves up. The curve goes all the way to the left as it moves up. So that's the easy part. Sorry. So I'm going to say, and D for domain is equal to negative infinity, positive infinity. Range, R for range. What's range? Remember, my curve is like this, and the x coordinate is 2, y coordinate is 2. I only care about the y coordinate when I'm interested in the range, and it's going to go 2 to positive infinity. And yes, you have to put square bracket because 2 is included. So that kind of, take a look. That kind of wraps it up, guys, for our semester, to be honest. Take a look.
So, sir,
Mm-hmm.
are we gonna have class tomorrow?
Good question. Okay. I will be here the whole time. I will come in and log on at 9:35. You can come here and chit chat with me like an office hour. Okay. Anybody can come and ask questions. Can you do this? Can you do that? Now, if somebody asks me a good question, a difficult problem, I will record it. Otherwise, I won't.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yep.
Yeah, so in other words, there won't be any lecture. We are done. And you can take the day to study. You can take that day to do the homework, your choice, but I will be here to answer your questions. There won't be any recording. 3.1 is the last section we are doing.
This is 3.1, right?
Say that once again.
This is 3.1.
Correct. Correct. It's chapter 3.1, and I think the name of the chapter is quadratic equation functions. Yes, that's what we wrapped up. That's the last section. Nothing new will be done. I can technically go and do 3.2, but I generally don't do it. All right, guys, if you don't have any questions, okay, I'm going to jump out. We still have about 25 minutes. I'm going to come back. I'm going to jump out. This will allow me to download the video. Okay. And I will be available if you want to. Can you show me where this is? Can you do a problem from MATLAB? All those answers will be handled. All right, guys, no new lecture, but if you want to leave, be my guest. If you want to come back and ask a question or chit chat with me about the course, about anything else, mathematical, I'll be happy to talk to you. Okay, so I'm jumping out. I will be back, and you can feel free to be back. See you soon, hopefully with more questions.